Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water. David Erdos with a new poem in the Bastards Charter sequence, poem 6, about a very particular bastard who'll be no surprise to anyone listening to these pieces in the past. But today's news seemed to require an instant response, breaking recent silence. Burning Boris. Burn then, as we have burned you. Spurn yourself. End your era. And let defamation trump your own infamy. For just as Kenneth Williams cried in the film Carry On Cleo, we all have it in for you, Boris. Or as was. Be not free to do what thou wilt, clear a la Crowley, a true black magician who had more command of his spells, and who at least safeguarded a flame unlike the one you have fanned, born of hatred. So as you descend, then please do so, down a boulevard straight to hell, so that you no longer besmirch the byways and highways of England, as you once cavorted and stained Oxbridge halls, even as you claw on, filling cabinets you should empty, a blown, bloated squatter expelling squits past brass balls. It is reported that 50 rats flew your ship, yet still you stamped through dark water, hoisting what was left of your ark to foam oceans that could only spit as you walked. What you have allowed is simply the underlining of Thatcher, who once sank British sailors. I hear her wretched refrains when you talk, albeit with less fluency, as you make an oil slick from language. And you, a former editor, shameful. You do not have the words, just the cheek, as you try to take charge of a world turning to crumbling biscuit before you. The bull in a china shop doesn't catch you, as you rupture air when you speak, and lie open-mouthed, your heart and mind closed but ransacked by your lust for power and for some desperate frow's nippled peak. I despise you, of course, as has been seen in these poems, but then, when you were elected, your own sister appeared on TV, on Channel 4's sad attempt to satirise and to capture the charm of Peter Cook and co. They'd have had you. They'd have shown the shit at your seat. And yet still you won't go. Is it another ploy? Resignation? Do you hope or plan a new crisis on a wider stage until then? Michael Gove has been sacked. Back to Middle-earth, gimpy Gollum, along with Richie, but what riches now to defend? Will they have you back on quiz shows and say that all is forgiven? Or will you populate the far places that those in disrepute duly prowl? Under college pal Cameron's soft rock, or wherever Kevin Spacey finds safe harbour? Is there a club or cave to protect you? Will you worship Bohemian Grove's jungle owl? You will feather your nest with stolen swans and plucked eagles. Crushed doves will be pâté for you to spread on your toast. Or will you publish your book and make the next million? In the sick society you have symptomed, you will refresh while we roast. How Do You Sleep was Lennon's hurtful song to McCartney, but that came from the anger of the dream they shared, falling foul. But I will still quote those words and fire them at you. You praised the mandate you were given to lie and falsely smile, while I scowl. Seeing it all as your right, you praised the fact that our brilliant and Darwinian system will bring about a new leader, as if being Tory PM was a birthright that contained natural life. And while you may be a beast, you are not noble, just savage. To me, a man alone, it's a horror that you have had even one choice of wife. So let's see if your current Lady Macbeth, who has not unsexed for gall, remains with you, now that shadows call you, let alone a ghost's knife. I have my suspicions, of course, but this is not a faithful age. You have shown that. What you are is a roadblock to the particular path of the free. Will it open now? There's scant hope. But then who will replace you? Someone moderate? Man, I doubt it. For this is where the blue becomes black, and the right-wing hardline demand a somewhat desperate direction, leaving the left to plan progress and to shine once more through the slack. For today, I rejoice, but you will still be there tomorrow. Burn, boar, I bridle, but what life now gains, may you lack. Do not re-emerge. Be as a submarine, Boris. Seek only the depths that define you. I hound you down to hell fire. And as your ship starts sinking and the waters rise, truth attacks. David Erdos, the 7th of July, 2022.